Spanning over 5.5 million square kilometers, the Amazon rainforest is the largest continuous stretch of tropical forest on Earth, forming a living, breathing engine at the heart of South America. Its vastness is so immense that it generates its own weather systems, influencing rainfall patterns not only across the continent, but as far away as North America and Africa. The Amazon is often described as the green lung of our planet, a title earned through its extraordinary ability to absorb and store atmospheric carbon dioxide. Each year, its billions of trees and plants sequester approximately 2 billion tons of CO2, acting as a critical buffer against global warming. Deep within the forest, ancient hardwood giants like the Brazil nut tree and the towering kapok tree anchor the ecosystem. Their extensive root systems stabilize the soil, while their canopies intercept rainfall, reducing erosion and maintaining the delicate balance of the forest floor. The Amazon's reach extends across 9 nations, with its dense, multi-layered vegetation forming a living mosaic that is visible from space. Brazil alone contains nearly 60% of this emerald expanse, which is so vast it produces up to 20% of the world's river discharge into the oceans. The forest structure is a marvel of natural engineering, with emergent trees rising above a dense canopy, an understory teeming with shade-adapted plants, and a forest floor rich in decomposing organic matter. This vertical complexity allows for the coexistence of thousands of plant species, each adapted to its own microclimate. The Amazon's intricate web of life is supported by a continuous cycle of nutrient exchange. Leaf litter and fallen branches decompose rapidly in the humid environment, releasing vital nutrients that are quickly absorbed by shallow-rooted plants. Mycorrhizal fungi form symbiotic relationships with tree roots, enhancing nutrient uptake and connecting vast networks of vegetation. Among the Amazon's botanical wonders are the giant Victoria amazonica water lilies, whose leaves can span over 2 meters in diameter, and the strangler fig, which envelops host trees in a slow, relentless embrace. Epiphytes such as orchids and bromeliads thrive high in the canopy, drawing moisture from the air and creating miniature ecosystems in their leaves. The Amazon's rivers and floodplains pulse with seasonal rhythms, as annual rains swell the waterways and inundate vast tracts of forest. This flooding deposits nutrient-rich sediments, rejuvenating the soil and supporting a dynamic aquatic ecosystem that is home to thousands of fish and plant species. The Amazon's atmospheric phenomena are equally remarkable. The forest releases immense quantities of water vapor through transpiration, creating towering columns of clouds that drive regional rainfall and even influence global weather patterns. This process, known as the flying rivers, is essential for maintaining the hydrological cycle across South America. The Amazon's role as a climate regulator is further enhanced by its ability to generate its own microclimates. The dense foliage moderates temperature extremes, while the constant exchange of gases between plants and the atmosphere helps stabilize the planet's climate. Every day, the Amazon's leaves transpire billions of liters of water, creating a perpetual cycle of condensation and rainfall. This not only sustains the forest itself, but also feeds the great rivers that flow through its heart, ensuring the survival of countless species. The Amazon is a living laboratory of evolution, where unique plant adaptations, such as leaves that shed excess water, roots that breathe air, and bark that resists fungal attack, have emerged over millions of years. These innovations allow the forest to thrive in one of the most challenging and dynamic environments on Earth. The Amazon's ecological processes are a testament to the power and resilience of nature. Its preservation is not only vital for the stability of our climate, but for the continued existence of the intricate, interdependent systems that make this forest the true green lung of our planet. The saga of the Amazon rainforest begins not with a single seed, but with the titanic forces that shaped the very face of the Earth. Over 100 million years ago, the land that would become South America was part of the ancient supercontinent Gondwana. As the continent slowly drifted apart, the South American plate began its gradual journey westward, setting the stage for a dramatic transformation. In these primordial times, a vast inland sea stretched across what is now the Amazon basin, teeming with ancient aquatic life and bordered by lush, primitive forests. The region's climate oscillated between wet and dry periods, shaping the early landscape and influencing the evolution of its first plant and animal inhabitants. Deep beneath the surface, the relentless movement of tectonic plates was underway. The Nazca Plate, sliding beneath the South American plate, generated immense pressure, slowly forcing the land upward. Over millions of years, this process gave birth to the Andes, the longest continental mountain range on Earth, towering above the western edge of the continent. The rise of the Andes was a pivotal event, fundamentally altering the continent's topography and climate. These mountains became a formidable barrier, blocking moist air from the Pacific and redirecting atmospheric currents, which in turn influenced rainfall patterns across the continent. As the Andes ascended, they formed a colossal wall along South America's western edge. This new barrier dramatically changed the course of rivers, which once flowed westward into the Pacific Ocean. Blocked by the rising mountains, these rivers were forced to reverse their flow, carving new channels eastward toward the Atlantic. This redirection of water was a slow, powerful process, gradually sculpting the landscape and giving rise to the intricate web of rivers that now defines the Amazon basin. Over countless millennia, these rivers branched and braided, creating a vast network of waterways. The Amazon River, now the largest by discharge volume in the world, became the lifeblood of the rainforest, its tributaries weaving through the basin like veins. The transformation of the ancient inland sea into a sprawling freshwater system was a turning point. As the sea receded, it left behind vast wetlands and floodplains, which became the foundation for a new, dynamic ecosystem. The young Andes, still eroding rapidly, released immense quantities of mineral-rich sediments into the rivers. These sediments, carried downstream, were deposited across the low-lying basin, enriching the soil and fueling the growth of new plant life. The Amazon's soils, though often thin and quickly leached by heavy rains, were periodically rejuvenated by these nutrient-rich floods. This process created a mosaic of fertile floodplains and terra firma upland areas that never flood, each supporting distinct plant communities. The combination of fertile soils, abundant water, and a consistently warm, humid climate set the stage for an explosion of plant diversity. Ancient lineages of trees, vines, and epiphytes began to flourish, competing for sunlight and space in the ever-thickening forest. Over time, what was once a flooded, open landscape transformed into a dense, multi-layered rainforest. The canopy closed overhead, creating a world of perpetual twilight on the forest floor and fostering the evolution of countless specialized species. This geological and hydrological revolution ignited an unprecedented burst of evolution. Isolated by rivers and microhabitats, plants and animals diversified at a staggering rate. Today, the Amazon is home to more species of trees, birds, and insects than any other place on Earth. The story of the Amazon's creation is not a single event, but a continuous saga of upheaval, adaptation, and renewal. Fossil records reveal ancient forests, now buried beneath layers of sediment and pollen grains that trace the rise and fall of plant lineages over tens of millions of years. The Amazon grew in complexity, developing distinct layers, from the towering emergent trees to the dense canopy, the shadowy understory, and the teeming forest floor. Each layer became a unique world, supporting its own web of life. The rich soils and stable climate fostered intricate relationships between plants, animals, and fungi. Mycorrhizal fungi formed underground networks, linking tree roots and facilitating the exchange of nutrients, while insects and animals became vital pollinators and seed dispersers. The Amazon became a crucible of life, where evolution experimented with endless forms and strategies for survival. From dazzling poison dart frogs to towering kapok trees, every organism carved out a niche in this living laboratory. The ancient origins of the Amazon are etched into its rivers, soils, and forests, a living monument to the powerful geological and ecological forces that have shaped our planet for over 100 million years. The Amazon rainforest stands today as a testament to the enduring interplay of earth, water, and life. Suspended high above the shadowy forest floor, the Amazon's canopy forms a vibrant living roof, a world layered with complexity and teeming with life. This dense, interwoven network of leaves and branches, arching between 30 and 50 meters above ground, is the rainforest's engine room, where sunlight, water, and air converge to fuel a dynamic ecosystem. Here, the canopy intercepts nearly all sunlight and rainfall, creating a patchwork of microclimates. Some pockets bask in golden light, while others remain cool and damp, nurturing a mosaic of specialized life forms. Over 20,000 plant species thrive in this green ceiling, from towering emergent trees to epiphytes, plants like orchids and bromeliads that cling to branches, drawing moisture from the humid air and forming miniature gardens above the ground. The canopy is a realm of specialists, creatures so finely tuned to this aerial habitat that many will never descend to the forest floor. They leap, glide, and crawl through a labyrinth of branches, each species carving out its own niche. Among the most iconic is the sloth, a master of energy conservation. Its slow, deliberate movements are a calculated adaptation to a diet of tough, low-nutrient leaves, and its curved claws provide a perfect grip for life suspended in the treetops. The sloth's pace, just 0.24 kilometers per hour, minimizes detection by predators and allows it to blend seamlessly with the foliage, while its specialized stomach ferments leaves over weeks, extracting every possible nutrient. Digestion is a slow process. A single meal can take up to 30 days to pass through its system, a testament to the sloth's patience and efficiency. Its shaggy fur is a microhabitat in itself, hosting algae, fungi, and tiny insects. The algae tint the sloth green, camouflaging it from above, while moths and beetles complete a miniature ecosystem, each species benefiting from the other's presence. This symbiotic web, woven into the sloth's very fur, exemplifies the intricate relationships that define the canopy's community. Toucans, with their dazzling plumage and unmistakable calls, add bursts of color and sound to the leafy expanse. Their presence signals the health and diversity of the canopy. The toucan's enormous beak, up to 19 centimeters long, is a marvel of adaptation, lightweight yet strong, constructed from keratin and honeycombed with air pockets to reduce weight. This versatile tool allows toucans to reach fruit on slender branches, inaccessible to heavier animals, and to regulate their body temperature by radiating heat through the beak's surface. As they feast, toucans scatter seeds far and wide, ensuring the next generation of trees. Their movements shape the very structure of the forest, linking plant and animal life in a cycle of renewal. The air is alive with the chatter and calls of monkeys, each species occupying a unique layer of the canopy and forging complex social bonds. The howler monkey, the loudest of all primates, unleashes resonant roars that travel up to 4.8 kilometers, marking territory and alerting other animals to danger. Their vocalizations help maintain the delicate balance between groups, reducing conflict and competition. Spider monkeys, with their elongated limbs and prehensile tails, are the acrobats of the treetops. Their agility allows them to traverse vast distances in search of fruit, pollinating flowers and dispersing seeds as they go. All around, macaws flash through the leaves in brilliant colors, hummingbirds hover at nectar-rich flowers, and insects, beetles, butterflies, and ants form the foundation of countless food webs. Each species, from the tiniest ant to the largest primate, is woven into a tapestry of interdependence, their lives shaped by the ever-changing microclimates and the intricate architecture of the Amazon's bustling canopy. Beneath the dense, interwoven canopy, where only the faintest shafts of sunlight filter through, lies the forest floor, a realm shrouded in perpetual twilight. This is a world of deep shadows and constant moisture, where the air is thick with humidity, and the scent of earth and decay is ever present. Here, a continuous layer of fallen leaves, twigs, and organic debris forms a living carpet. Decomposition is relentless. Microbes, fungi, and invertebrates work in concert to break down this material, transforming it into nutrient-rich humus. Though it may appear still, the forest floor is alive with activity. Countless invertebrates, beetles, millipedes, centipedes, and springtails scuttle through the leaf litter, each playing a vital role in the breakdown of organic matter. Many of these creatures are masters of disguise, blending seamlessly with the detritus to avoid predators and ambush prey. Their cryptic forms are a testament to the evolutionary arms race that unfolds in this dim environment. Amphibians thrive in this humid layer. Over 430 species, from tiny glass frogs to robust toads, depend on the constant moisture and abundant food. Among the most striking are the poison dart frogs, whose vivid colors serve as a warning to would-be predators. Their skin flashes with electric blues, fiery reds, and luminous yellows, an unmistakable signal of their potent chemical defenses. This is not mere ornamentation, but a survival strategy. The colors warn of batrachotoxin, a neurotoxin so powerful that even a trace can deter or kill a predator. The frogs acquire this toxin from their diet, primarily ants and termites that themselves feed on toxic plants and fungi, demonstrating the intricate connections within the forest's food web. By consuming these specialized prey, the frogs transform their meals into a formidable chemical shield, ensuring their survival in a world teeming with predators. The forest floor is also the domain of the leafcutter ants, nature's industrious farmers. These ants form vast, organized colonies, each individual playing a precise role in the colony's survival. In long, unwavering lines, they transport leaf fragments, many times their own weight, a testament to their strength and cooperation. These leaves are not consumed directly. Instead, the ants carry them deep underground, into sprawling nests that can stretch up to 8 meters wide. There, the leaves are chewed into a pulp and used to cultivate a specialized fungus, the true food source for the colony. This mutualistic relationship is a marvel of co-evolution, with both ant and fungus utterly dependent on one another. Within these subterranean cities, a complex social structure emerges. Tiny workers tend the fungus gardens, while powerful soldiers guard the nest from invaders. Decomposition is the engine of the forest floor. As leaves, wood, and animal remains break down, they are transformed into nutrients that fuel new growth. Fungi are the unsung heroes of this process. Their thread-like mycelium weaves through the soil and debris, secreting enzymes that dissolve tough plant fibers and release essential minerals. Bacteria join the fungi in this vital work, breaking down complex molecules and returning nitrogen, phosphorus, and other nutrients to the thin, fragile topsoil. This nutrient cycle is the foundation of the rainforest's immense productivity. The forest floor is also a haven for invertebrate predators and prey. Camouflaged stick insects vanish among twigs and leaves, while the Goliath bird-eater tarantula, the world's largest spider, prowls the shadows, hunting with silent precision. In this intricate, ever-changing world, every organism, from the tiniest mite to the largest tarantula, plays a role in maintaining the balance of life. The forest floor, though hidden in darkness, is the beating heart of the Amazon, where the cycle of decay and renewal sustains one of the planet's richest ecosystems. In the dim, tangled heart of the Amazon, shadows move with silent purpose. Here, the rainforest's most formidable predators, masters of stealth and adaptation, prowl beneath the emerald canopy. Among them, the jaguar reigns supreme, its presence felt but rarely seen. The jaguar, largest of the Amazon's cats, is a living emblem of power and wildness. Its golden coat, patterned with intricate rosettes, is more than beautiful. It is a masterwork of camouflage, breaking up the animal's outline in the shifting light and shadow of the forest floor. Occasionally, a rare melanistic jaguar, often called a black panther, emerges from the gloom. Its dark coat, dappled with faint spots, allows it to melt into the deepest shadows, an evolutionary advantage for ambush in the rainforest's perpetual twilight. The jaguar's hunting strategy is defined by patience and precision. It moves with calculated silence, using dense vegetation and fallen logs as cover. When the moment is right, it launches with explosive force, relying on its muscular build and unmatched bite strength. Unlike other big cats, the jaguar's bite is a specialized weapon, pound for pound, the strongest of any feline. It often dispatches prey with a single, crushing bite to the skull, piercing bone and brain in a swift, efficient kill. This method allows it to hunt armored animals like caimans and turtles, which few predators dare to challenge. The jaguar's adaptability extends beyond the forest floor. It is an accomplished swimmer, gliding through rivers and flooded forests with ease. This amphibious prowess opens up a world of aquatic prey, fish, turtles, and even caimans, expanding its hunting grounds far beyond those of other land predators. In the Amazon basin, aquatic animals can make up a significant portion of the jaguar's diet. Studies reveal that up to 20% of its food intake comes from the water, a testament to its versatility and skill. Its hunting success rate in water is remarkably high, often exceeding 50%. This amphibious nature gives the jaguar a unique advantage, allowing it to exploit a wider range of food sources and territories than any other Amazonian predator. As a keystone species, the jaguar's predatory role is vital. By preying on a diverse array of animals, from capybaras and deer to caimans and turtles, it helps regulate populations, preventing overgrazing and maintaining the delicate balance of the rainforest ecosystem. The jaguar's mastery of camouflage and stealth makes it a near-invisible presence, a silent guardian whose very existence signals a healthy, thriving forest. Its ability to move undetected through the shadows is both a survival strategy and a symbol of the Amazon's enduring mystery. In the end, the jaguar is more than a predator. It is the living spirit of the Amazon's shadows, a creature whose fate is inseparable from the fate of the rainforest itself. Its continued survival ensures the health and balance of this extraordinary wilderness. The Amazon is defined not just by its trees, but by its water. This immense river system, stretching over 6,400 kilometers, is the lifeblood of the rainforest, shaping the landscape and nurturing a world of astonishing biodiversity. Each year, seasonal rains transform vast tracts of forest into a flooded wonderland known as the Igapo and Varzea. Here, trees stand in water for months, and aquatic plants, like the giant Victoria Amazonica lily and float-in mats of water hyacinth, thrive, providing shelter and food for countless species. The Amazon's waters are home to an extraordinary array of fish, over 3,000 species and counting. Armored catfish scrape algae from submerged logs, while the electric eel, capable of generating powerful shocks, navigates and hunts in the dim, sediment-rich currents. Among the most dazzling are the neon tetras and discus fish, their vivid colors flashing through the underwater foliage. These species, prized by aquarists worldwide, are perfectly adapted to the soft, acidic waters of the Amazon basin. Amphibians, too, flourish in this aquatic universe. The Amazon milk frog, with its striking blue and white markings, spends much of its life in the trees, but relies on water-filled hollows and flooded forest floors to breed. Tadpoles develop in these ephemeral pools, safe from many predators. The river's plant life is equally diverse. Submerged species like Carbomba and Elodea oxygenate the water, and provide habitat for invertebrates, while floating plants such as salvinia and water lettuce form dense mats that shelter juvenile fish and amphibians. Among the giants of these waters is the arapaima, or pirarucu, one of the world's largest freshwater fish. Reaching lengths of up to 3 meters, it surfaces regularly to gulp air, an adaptation to the oxygen-poor waters of the floodplain. The infamous red piranha, with its razor-sharp teeth, is both predator and scavenger. Traveling in schools, these fish play a crucial role in recycling nutrients, swiftly consuming dead or dying animals, and keeping the ecosystem in balance. Other remarkable fish include the Amazon river ray, whose flattened body glides over sandy bottoms, and the armored knifefish, which uses electric fields to navigate and communicate in the turbid waters. Amphibians like the glass frog, with its transparent skin, and the Suriname toad, famous for brooding its young in pockets on its back, reveal the Amazon's endless capacity for evolutionary innovation. Perhaps the most enchanting inhabitant is the boto, or pink river dolphin. Using sophisticated echolocation, it navigates the labyrinth of submerged trees and shifting channels, its flexible neck and keen senses perfectly suited to this ever-changing world. Even the smallest residents play vital roles. Aquatic mosses and algae form the foundation of the food web, while countless species of aquatic insects and crustaceans recycle nutrients and provide food for fish, amphibians, and birds. In this aquatic universe, every layer, from the sunlit surface to the shadowy depths, teems with life. The Amazon's rivers, lakes, and flooded forests are a living tapestry, woven from the threads of countless species, each uniquely adapted to thrive in this watery world. The Amazon rainforest is governed by a powerful and intricate hydrological cycle where the rhythm of the rains orchestrates every aspect of life. Unlike temperate forests, the Amazon's seasons are defined not by temperature, but by the abundance and scarcity of water. Each year, the wet season arrives with remarkable predictability, typically beginning in December and lasting through May. During this period, the intertropical convergence zone, a band of persistent thunderstorms, shifts southward, drawing in warm, moisture-laden air from the Atlantic Ocean. This convergence triggers relentless rainfall, sometimes exceeding 300 millimeters in a single month. The Amazon's rainfall is not uniform. Some regions, such as the western and central basins, experience intense daily downpours, while others receive intermittent but equally drenching storms. Unique weather phenomena like the friagem, a sudden cold front from the south, can bring abrupt temperature drops and misty rain, temporarily altering the forest's microclimate. As the rains intensify, rivers swell dramatically, rising by 3 to 4.5 meters. The sheer volume of water transforms the landscape, flooding millions of hectares and giving birth to the vazia, or flooded forest. Here, the forest floor disappears beneath nutrient-rich waters, creating a dynamic, temporary ecosystem. Trees that spend half the year rooted in dry soil must adapt to months of submersion. Many species have evolved specialized aerial roots and flexible trunks, allowing them to withstand prolonged flooding. Some even develop lenticels, tiny pores on their bark, to facilitate gas exchange underwater. The seasonal inundation is not a disaster, but a vital pulse that sustains the Amazon's extraordinary biodiversity. Aquatic life flourishes as fish, such as the tambaqui and pirarucu, venture into the flooded forest to feed on fruits, seeds, and insects that drop from the canopy. This bounty supports mass spawning events, with over 60% of fish species relying on the calm, nutrient-rich waters of the vazia to reproduce and shelter their young. The rains also shape the lives of terrestrial animals. As water encroaches on the land, mammals like jaguars, capybaras, and tapirs retreat to higher ground, forming temporary concentrations of wildlife. Meanwhile, caimans and river dolphins exploit the expanded waterways, hunting in areas that are dry for much of the year. Birds, too, are deeply attuned to the seasonal cycle. The wet season exposes mineral-rich clay licks along riverbanks, attracting vibrant flocks of macaws, parrots, and parakeets. These birds consume the clay to neutralize toxins from unripe fruits and seeds, a crucial adaptation during times when their preferred foods are scarce. The Amazon's rainfall patterns also give rise to rare phenomena such as flying rivers, vast streams of water vapor carried by air currents from the forest to distant regions, influencing weather far beyond the basin itself. This atmospheric river system is a testament to the Amazon's role as a global climate regulator. The annual pulse of water is the heartbeat of the Amazon, connecting river and forest in a seamless, ever-changing mosaic. Every species, from the smallest insect to the largest predator, has evolved strategies to survive and thrive in response to the rise and fall of the waters. This rhythm of the rains is a force of nature that has shaped the evolution of the Amazon for millennia, forging a profound and beautiful connection between water, weather, and life in the world's greatest rainforest. The Amazon rainforest, often called the lungs of the earth, is under siege from a multitude of escalating threats. Despite its vastness and remarkable biodiversity, this ancient ecosystem is now facing pressures that could irreversibly alter its future. Deforestation remains the most immediate and devastating danger. Each year, millions of hectares are stripped away, primarily for large-scale cattle ranching, industrial agriculture, and the relentless expansion of soy plantations. Heavy machinery tears through the forest, leaving behind barren landscapes. Logging, both legal and illegal, removes valuable hardwoods, while mining operations poison rivers with mercury and other toxins, further degrading the ecosystem. In the last 50 years alone, satellite data reveals that approximately 17 to 18% of the original rainforest has vanished. The pace of destruction has accelerated, with the majority of this loss occurring in recent decades. The clearing and burning of trees not only obliterate habitats, but also unleash vast quantities of stored carbon into the atmosphere. This process transforms the Amazon from a vital carbon sink into a significant source of greenhouse gases, intensifying global warming. Scientists warn that the Amazon is nearing a critical ecological threshold. If deforestation and degradation continue, the forest may lose its ability to recover, leading to widespread dieback and ecosystem collapse. The fragmentation of the forest disrupts wildlife corridors, isolates species, and reduces genetic diversity, making the ecosystem more vulnerable to disease and environmental stress. The Amazon's trees play a crucial role in regulating the region's climate. Through transpiration, they release billions of tons of water vapor into the atmosphere, generating much of the rainfall that sustains the forest and influences weather patterns across South America. As more trees are lost, this hydrological cycle is disrupted. Reduced transpiration leads to less rainfall, longer dry seasons, and increased risk of drought, further stressing the ecosystem. Scientists fear that this feedback loop could push large swathes of the Amazon past a tipping point, transforming vibrant rainforest into arid, savanna-like landscapes, a shift that would be irreversible on human timescales. Climate change compounds these threats. Rising global temperatures and shifting rainfall patterns are already altering the Amazon's delicate balance, making the forest more susceptible to extreme weather events. Droughts are becoming more frequent and severe, while wildfires, once rare in this humid environment, now rage across vast areas fueled by dry conditions and human ignition sources. The Amazon's natural resistance to fire is breaking down. Prolonged droughts dry out the forest floor, turning it into tinder and allowing flames to spread rapidly, devastating both flora and fauna. These fires can burn unchecked for months, destroying ancient trees, erasing entire habitats, and releasing even more carbon dioxide, further accelerating climate change. This destructive cycle, where deforestation increases fire risk and fires pave the way for further clearing, pushes the Amazon ever closer to ecological collapse. The loss of the Amazon is not merely the disappearance of trees. It represents the unraveling of a complex, interconnected system that regulates climate, stores carbon, and supports countless species. The consequences would reverberate worldwide, altering weather patterns, reducing rainfall in distant regions, and accelerating the pace of global climate change. The Amazon's extraordinary biodiversity, home to 1 in 10 known species on Earth, would be irretrievably lost. Countless plants, animals, and microorganisms, many still undiscovered, hold untapped potential for medicine, agriculture, and science. The collapse of this ecosystem would trigger cascading extinctions, disrupting food webs and eliminating vital ecological services such as pollination, seed dispersal, and soil regeneration. The fate of the Amazon, the world's largest and most vital rainforest, now hangs in the balance. Its preservation is not just a regional concern, but a global imperative, one that will determine the health and stability of our planet for generations to come. Even as the shadows of destruction loom over the Amazon, there are powerful signs of hope and resilience within its living tapestry. The Amazon is home to a remarkable array of keystone species, organisms whose presence and activities are critical to the health and stability of the entire ecosystem. The jaguar, for example, is the apex predator of the rainforest. By regulating populations of herbivores and smaller predators, jaguars maintain the delicate balance necessary for the forest's regeneration and diversity. Giant river otters, another keystone species, are vital for the health of aquatic ecosystems. Their predation on fish helps control populations and prevent imbalances that could disrupt the river's food web. The harpy eagle, one of the world's largest and most powerful raptors, preys on medium-sized mammals and birds, shaping the structure of the forest by influencing prey populations and their behaviors. The Brazil nut tree, a towering giant of the Amazon, depends on the agouti, a small rodent, for seed dispersal. Agoutis crack open the tough pods and bury the seeds, inadvertently planting new trees and ensuring the survival of this economically and ecologically important species. Leafcutter ants, though tiny, are ecosystem engineers. By harvesting leaves and cultivating fungus gardens underground, they aerate the soil, recycle nutrients, and influence plant community dynamics across vast areas. Scarlet macaws and other frugivorous birds play a crucial role in seed dispersal, transporting seeds over long distances and supporting the regeneration of diverse plant species. Strangler figs, with their complex relationships with pollinators and fruit-eating animals, provide food and shelter for countless species, acting as keystone resources during periods of scarcity. Capybaras, the world's largest rodents, help maintain open areas in flooded forests and serve as prey for top predators, linking aquatic and terrestrial food webs. Dung beetles, often overlooked, are essential for nutrient cycling and soil health. By burying animal waste, they reduce disease, fertilize the soil, and promote plant growth. Conservation efforts increasingly focus on protecting these keystone species and the intricate relationships they sustain. Preserving habitat corridors, enforcing anti-poaching laws, and restoring degraded areas are all critical strategies. Advanced monitoring technologies, such as camera traps and remote sensors, are now deployed to track populations, study behaviors, and detect threats in real time. Drones and satellite imagery help map critical habitats and wildlife corridors, guiding targeted conservation actions and enabling rapid response to illegal activities. Special attention is given to amphibians, many of which are highly sensitive to environmental changes. Their presence or absence serves as an indicator of ecosystem health and the effectiveness of conservation measures. River dolphins, unique to the Amazon, are monitored as flagship species for freshwater conservation, highlighting the need to protect the river systems that sustain the entire rainforest. Pollinators such as bees and bats are safeguarded through habitat protection and research, ensuring the continued reproduction of countless plant species. Reforestation projects prioritize native species and the restoration of ecological functions, aiming to rebuild the complex web of life that defines the Amazon. Sustainable management of fisheries and aquatic habitats is essential for maintaining the balance between predator and prey, supporting both biodiversity and local livelihoods. Fungi and decomposers, though hidden from view, are vital guardians of nutrient cycles, breaking down organic matter and supporting the growth of new life. The Amazon's keystone species, from the mighty jaguar to the smallest ant, are the true guardians of the green heart. Their survival ensures the resilience and vitality of the world's greatest rainforest. By understanding and protecting these species and their roles, we safeguard not only the Amazon, but the future of our planet's biodiversity and climate stability. As daylight fades and the final rays of sun slip behind the emerald canopy, the Amazon rainforest undergoes a breathtaking transformation. The air cools, heavy with the scent of damp earth and blooming night flowers, as a symphony of new sounds begins to rise. Nightfall in the Amazon is not a time of silence, but of awakening, the start of a hidden nocturnal world that pulses with life. Under the cloak of darkness, the forest's palette shifts. Silver moonbeams and scattered starlight filter through the tangled branches, painting the understory with shifting shadows. Giant moths and luminous beetles emerge, their iridescent wings glinting in the dim light as they navigate the humid air. The haunting calls of nightjars and potus echo through the trees, their voices blending with the rhythmic chorus of frogs and crickets. High above, on swaying branches, slow-moving kinkajous and woolly opossums forage for ripe fruits and nectar, their large eyes adapted to the faintest glimmers of light. Stealthy ocelots slip silently through the undergrowth, their spotted coats blending perfectly with the dappled darkness as they hunt for unwary rodents and birds. In the treetops, night monkeys, Aotus, the only truly nocturnal primates of the New World, leap from limb to limb, feasting on insects and figs while communicating with soft, chattering calls. Beneath the surface of blackwater streams, electric eels and armored catfish patrol the depths, their movements sensed only by the faintest ripples. Giant river toads and caimans lurk along the muddy banks, eyes gleaming in the moonlight, waiting patiently for the perfect moment to strike. On the forest floor, leaf-cutter ants continue their labor under the stars, guided by invisible pheromone trails. Tiny glass frogs cling to broad leaves, their translucent skin revealing beating hearts as they call for mates in the humid night. The scent of blooming night orchids and the subtle glow of bioluminescent fungi create an otherworldly ambience, hinting at the secrets hidden within the darkness. Clouds drift overhead, and the air grows thick with anticipation. In the Amazon, night is a realm of heightened senses, unique adaptations, and extraordinary encounters. Here, survival depends on silence, camouflage, and the ability to read the subtle language of shadows. Each creature, great and small, plays its part in the intricate ballet of nocturnal life. As dawn approaches, the forest will shift again, but for now, the Amazon's true mysteries belong to the night, a world rarely seen yet vital to the endless cycle of life in the green heart of our planet. Beneath the dense foliage and tangled roots of the Amazon lies an unseen force, quietly shaping the fate of the forest. Fungi, neither plant nor animal, form the intricate backbone of the rainforest's ecosystem. These ancient organisms weave a vast living network through the soil, connecting trees, shrubs, and even the smallest plants in a web of silent communication and resource exchange. At the heart of this underground world are mycorrhizal networks. Here, delicate fungal filaments, called hyphae, fuse with plant roots, forming partnerships that have endured for millions of years. Through this alliance, trees share sugars produced by photosynthesis, while fungi deliver essential nutrients and water extracted from the depths of the soil. This mutual support enables the lush diversity of the rainforest to flourish, even in soils often poor in nutrients. But the role of fungi extends far beyond collaboration. As master decomposers, they break down fallen leaves, dead wood, and organic matter, recycling life's building blocks back into the earth. Without fungi, the forest floor would become a graveyard of debris. Instead, their enzymes dissolve even the toughest plant fibers, releasing vital minerals and enriching the soil for new growth. Some fungi form symbiotic relationships not just with plants but with insects as well. Leafcutter ants, for example, cultivate specialized fungal gardens deep within their nests. The ants feed the fungus with freshly cut leaves and in return harvest its nutritious hyphal tips to sustain their colony. Meanwhile, other fungi act as guardians and gatekeepers. Endophytic fungi live quietly inside plant tissues, offering protection from disease and drought, while parasitic species can alter the fate of entire species, controlling populations and maintaining balance. In the Amazon, the story of life and death is written not only in the towering trees and vibrant animals above, but in the microscopic threads below. Here, beneath every step, fungi orchestrate the cycles of decay and renewal, binding the rainforest together in a silent, essential embrace. The forest may appear to stand on trunks and roots, but it is the hidden web of fungi that holds the green world in place. Each year, a remarkable transformation sweeps across the Amazon, the arrival of the seasonal floods. Known locally as the flood pulse, this annual event is one of nature's greatest spectacles, submerging vast stretches of rainforest beneath meters of water for months at a time. What might appear as devastation is, in fact, a lifeline, triggering a cascade of adaptations among the forest's inhabitants. As the waters rise, the landscape shifts from dense woodland to a sprawling aquatic world known as the vasia, or flooded forest. Towering trees, such as the cecropia and the kapok, have evolved to withstand prolonged immersion. Their roots anchor firmly into the shifting silt, while specialized tissues allow for the exchange of gases, even when submerged. Some species produce seeds that float, drifting on the water's surface until the floods recede, ensuring their survival and dispersal. For animals, the flood pulse is both a challenge and an opportunity. Fish, like the silver arowana and the giant arapaima, venture far beyond riverbanks, gliding among submerged branches in search of fruits and seeds dropped by the trees above. River dolphins, masters of navigation, slip silently through the flooded undergrowth, feasting on the bounty of the season. Above, monkeys and sloths retreat to the highest branches, their world shrinking to leafy islands amid an endless sea. Birds, such as the Hatsin and Jacana, take advantage of new breeding grounds, building nests just above the waterline, safe from ground predators. Even insects adapt. Some ants construct waterproof rafts out of their own bodies, floating to safety with their entire colony. Beneath the surface, amphibians and reptiles thrive. The Amazon's famed caimans patrol the watery maze, while frogs and toads time their breeding cycles to the flood, laying eggs in temporary pools that appear and vanish with the shifting tides. When the waters finally withdraw, they leave behind a landscape renewed. Fertile soils enriched by silt, seeds deposited far from their origins, and a web of life primed for another cycle. In the Amazon, survival is not about resisting change, but embracing it. Through floods and droughts, every species has found its rhythm, dancing to the pulse of the river year after year. Beneath the towering trunks and dense canopy, an invisible network pulses with life, a silent conversation unfolding every moment. In the Amazon, trees do not stand alone. They're bound together by intricate relationships, communicating through a system scientists call the wood wide web. The roots of Amazonian giants stretch far and wide, intertwining with those of their neighbors. Through these connections and with the help of symbiotic fungi known as mycorrhizae, trees exchange chemical signals and nutrients. When one tree senses a threat, perhaps the nibble of a caterpillar or the infection of a fungus, it releases chemical compounds into the air and soil. Nearby trees pick up on these signals, priming their own defenses even before danger reaches them. But the dialogue does not end with warnings. Trees share resources as well. In times of abundance, a healthy tree can channel sugars and water through its roots to support a struggling companion, be it a sapling shaded by the canopy, or an elder weakened by disease. This ecological cooperation ensures the survival of the forest as a whole, creating a resilient, interconnected community. Fungi, the unseen architects of the soil, serve as mediators in this silent exchange. Their thread-like hyphae weave through the earth, linking trees of many species into a vast underground network. Through these fungal bridges, information and energy flow, sometimes spanning hundreds of meters, crossing the boundaries between different groves and generations. Even above ground, the Amazon's green inhabitants send signals. Some trees release volatile organic compounds to attract the predators of leaf-eating insects, turning the tables on their attackers. Others synchronize their flowering and fruiting, ensuring pollinators and seed dispersers are drawn at just the right moment. In the world's greatest rainforest, communication is the key to survival. Each tree is a node in a living network, listening, responding, and cooperating in ways we are only beginning to understand. Here, in the heart of the Amazon, the language of the forest is written not in words, but in the chemistry of life itself. Beneath the sprawling roots and tangled leaf litter of the Amazon, another universe thrives, one invisible to the naked eye, yet essential to the rainforest's survival. Here, in the moist embrace of the soil and within droplets of water, a microscopic multitude orchestrates the daily operations of the ecosystem. Bacteria, numbering in the billions within just a single gram of earth, are the silent chemists of the forest floor. They break down fallen leaves, dead wood and animal remains, transforming complex organic matter into nutrients that feed the roots above. Some bacteria specialize in fixing nitrogen from the air, converting it into forms that plants can absorb, a crucial process in a landscape where nutrients are quickly leached away by frequent rains. Without this continual recycling, the Amazon's lush growth would grind to a halt. Alongside bacteria, the world of protozoa unfolds, single-celled organisms gliding through thin films of water, hunting bacteria and releasing nutrients in the process. These microscopic predators help regulate bacterial populations, preventing any one species from overwhelming the system. In turn, protozoa become food for tiny invertebrates, forming the foundation of a food web that supports creatures both great and small. Further still, specialized bacteria form symbiotic partnerships with plants, living within their roots and exchanging nutrients for shelter and energy. Others inhabit the guts of termites and leafcutter ants, enabling these insects to digest tough plant materials and return valuable compounds to the soil. Even in the waters that flood the forest floor, bacteria and protozoa play vital roles, breaking down organic debris, cycling nutrients, and purifying the waters that sustain aquatic life. Together, these invisible architects maintain the delicate balance of the Amazon. Their ceaseless activity ensures that life above ground can flourish, weaving a hidden tapestry of chemical transformations and microscopic interactions. Though unseen, their influence touches every leaf, every drop of water, and every breath of air in this living forest. In the Amazon, the smallest residents are often the most indispensable, reminding us that in nature, even the tiniest life forms can sustain the greatest wonders.